It was a tough day of Test cricket, guys. I'm getting a little bit hot, but it's a tough day of Test cricket. And I'm sorry that I came on so late because today I had a couple of exclusive interviews that were scheduled from Northwest Dragons. So I've interviewed Craig Alexander, the head coach, Vian Libbe, the captain, and their rising, obviously, young star, Mikhail Prince, in an exclusive interviews at today. So I had to wait for the training to finish first before I could come home and set up the live stream. So apologize for being a little bit late with the live stream. But yeah, I'm here with you guys. So let's start discussing the test and what's been happening here, because it hasn't been the best of days for test cricket for South Africa. It started off pretty well, but towards the end of the match, Pakistan have control of the match. But there's still a possibility. There's still hope, because whenever there is someone that is in at the crease, there's still hope. I'm disappointed with certain performances, and we will get into that as well on today's show. But before we get going, before we get started, please subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos, please. You need to subscribe, guys, and you need to press the notification. That's how you'll know when I release any exclusive interviews. You'll know when I go live. All of those things. That's very important, guys. Otherwise, you'll never know when we do go live. I'd also like you guys to please smash that like button, please. Make sure that you do that, and comment and share, so that we can get into recommended feeds. When I've ended the stream, please go to the comment section and comment there. Some of you guys have been really good at doing that, so keep that up and keep on doing that, because it's very important that you guys do that. It keeps the page engaged, and it keeps everybody checked in and tuned in with us. So please go ahead and do all of those things as well for us. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's show. I'm looking forward to hear what you guys have to say actually today about this performance. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we discuss everything that happened today with regards to cricket. And there's a couple of things that we need to talk about. The women have gotten their third victory on the bounce. They beat Bangladesh, and they beat them after being in a very difficult situation when it comes to the match situation. I was quite impressed the fact that they got over the line, because they could have easily not won that match. They were in a very, very difficult position. But congratulations to the Proteas women. Marazan Cup playing beautifully with the bat. Chloe Tryon doing it exceptionally well as well. So it was a couple of great performances from the Proteas women, and we have to celebrate their victory, because they won by 3 wickets with 3 balls remaining. It was a very, very close match. I mean, Bangladesh scored 232 for 6. I'll just bring it up on the screen for you guys so you can go through the scorecard with me. I know I haven't headlined with this one, but I will be doing a full review, like recording tomorrow from Newlands, because I'll be at the ground. I'll do a complete recording and video on what happened in the match and what has happened so far for us in the tournament. But good 28 from Annika Boshi, starting to get into form. Laura Wolfa 31. With regards to the ball, we weren't that great. The economy rates weren't that great. But I mean, Masabata Class was brilliant for 6 overs. Chloe Tran got 1 for 41. She should definitely be the player of the match in this match, because she was brilliant. 1 for 39 from Nadine de Klerk, and 2 for 42 from Nonkululeko Mhlaba. And yeah, that was the wicket takers. But with the bat is what we need to talk about. We didn't get off to a great start. As you can see, 64 for 4, and we were really in trouble. 78 for 5. So Nalo Jafta, it's a big talking point that we need to talk about, because I do feel it's not like there isn't someone that could get a position in this team. Like there's Karabo Mesu that I think should get opportunities. But with the bat today, we have to give credit to Marazan Cup for 56 runs of 71 balls. Chloe Tryon today, finally coming to the party and getting South Africa into a winning position, 62 of 69. But Nadine de Klerk once again, packing up her 80 with 37 of 29 balls, 4 fours and a 6. Fantastic. And Masabata Class also putting in a little cameo, 10 of 13 at the end there as well. And we ended up winning that match. We were 198 for 7 in the 45th over, and we got over the line. What a performance from the Proteas women. Congratulations to them. They have now won the match, and they are sitting pretty in this World Cup so far, only losing one match so far against England, and they've gone 3 on the bounce. So well done to the Proteas women. So let's get into the men's team and the test team, because there's a lot of talking points over here that we need to complain about probably. Yeah, so let's start with the positives. And that is Senator Mutasami getting a maiden 5-fer, 6-fer, however you want to say it. But he was key because he was the reason why we bowled Pakistan out for under 400. That was the key here. Put ourselves in the best possible position to try and chase that target. 378 was a gettable score for us, I felt, with the talent that we have in this squad. And Senator Mutasami took 6 for 117. Brilliant. Took double wickets in overs, etc. Was on a hat-trick again. Didn't manage to get it, but took another wicket again later, similarly to day one. So he was brilliant with the ball. He was really, really brilliant. I loved the way he bowled today. He even stopped, and we also stopped Salma Aka from getting his 100. So that was also a brilliant performance from that perspective. We managed to stop them from getting any hundreds. That was obviously key. But today, Mutasami was brilliant. He deserves all the credit. He was fantastic. And congratulations on his maiden 5-fer. We went out to bat. Yeah, we went out to bat. I mean, we bowled him out before lunch at least. So it gave us enough time in the match to be able to come back into the game. Aiden Markram started off looking really, really good, but you could see Pakistan went to spin from the get-go. And Noman Ali today was phenomenal. He took 4 wickets for 85. He was all over South Africa. Didn't get a great start because Aiden Markram lost his wicket on 20. Vian Mulder lost his wicket of 17. And then Rian Rickerton and Tony DeZorzi at the crease were brilliant today. And they took South Africa from 82 for 2 to 174 for 3. And it was such a big disappointment when Ryan Rickerton lost his wicket. He deserved 100 with the way he batted. 71 of 137, 9 fours, 2 sixes. He was brilliant today. But I hoped that he would have kicked on because we really needed him to stick out the day with Tony DeZorzi. Because Tony DeZorzi, fantastic. 81 of 140. He needs some credit, guys. There was a lot of criticism at his selection. And he's the one that's keeping this innings together for South Africa. If he doesn't perform in this match, we are going to be in big trouble. Everything's riding on Tony. Tony needs to try and get 100, a big 100 tomorrow. And if he can do it before lunch, even better, because it will give Pakistan majority of the day when the wicket is not that great to bat on. So we can try and skittle them for a low total. So we need that. We need Tony tomorrow. And we need Mutasami to stick around because Tristan Stubbs went out for 8. Deva Brevis for a duck. I was shocked at Deva Brevis that he used hard hands to hit that ball. I was disappointed in the shot selection that he played, having just come to the crease. I thought maybe the approach should, and it's easier to say in hindsight, maybe the approach should have been from his part to play his natural game against spin, trust his shot selection, and not try and play a little bit more conservative. And I think that got him out, but it's easier to say now in hindsight. Some people would say that maybe the approach was right. He needed to be a little bit cautious. Stubbs was very disappointing. He hasn't been performing that well recently. He's really, really struggling. He needs a big score in the next innings. He needs to start coming to the party now. He's gotten plenty of chances. And when players don't perform after a long period of time, they need to be criticized. And I think that Tristan Stubbs, he needs to now start performing. I mean, he's had some good performances, but he's really struggled of late. His form hasn't been that great, and he's really struggling. He's an exceptionally talented player, we know that, but he needs to now show it in his performances. And Calvarena for two, LBW, terrible time to lose his wicket. But now Senator Mutasami is at the crease with Tony DeZorzi. And the two of them now have to push South Africa forward. We need to get as close to the target as possible. As close as possible. 216 for 6 after 67 overs. We're batting at a 3.22 run rate, which is not too bad. But we need to push on. We need to get as close to 378 as possible. And I hope that South Africa can do it. But it was very disappointing by some of our senior batters and our other batters. But it's now up to Tony DeZorzi. And I think that Coach Shukri's mentality is about backing his players long term, even through struggling times, because cricket is a type of game where you do fail more than you succeed. And he tends to stick with his players right through those difficult times. They've stuck with Ryan Rickleton for a long time out of form, and now he came to the party. They've stuck with Tony DeZorzi in difficult times through a lot of games where he played poorly, and now he came to the party today. Will they do the same with Stubbs is the big question. And I think that's the major talking point ultimately, from a batter's point of view. I mean, Dearvat, you can forgive. He's a youngster. It's his first test match. You will learn from this. You will learn tenfold from this. That's why I want to see a lot of youngsters get opportunities. Yeah, so it's something that I hope that they improve on. But this game is not just about my point of view and my thoughts of the game. It's not just this is just my quick review and to give you guys some insight into what happened on day 2 of this test match. And that is my summary of the day. So let me get now into the live chat, because that's what we're here for. We want to see what you guys have to say about the game. That is, I think, something that we need to talk about. Okay, Craig says, well done, ladies, showing the men how it's done. Well done, ladies. Yes. Avi Saberson says, Chloe Trinan in the clutch. What a performance. Tex says, we are massive trouble. I don't know how we can make a comeback in this match. We need to believe. Remember, 100 can change everything. If Tony DeZorzi gets 100, a big 100, that can change the whole game in South Africa's favor. So I don't think we're fully in trouble yet. Senator Mutasami can bat. He just needs to play a supporting role to Tony. Tony, when he gets in, he can score big hundreds. And I believe that he can do it. So we need to back him and believe that he can take us closer to that target. Avi says, we need a good second innings when Pakistan bat again. WTC final repeat. Daksh says, what a massive knock from Rickleton and Tony in Asian conditions. And on WhatsApp basis, Lazard is ahead of Bartman. Lorenzo says, I'm sorry, but the Stubbs conversation must be had now. The fact that people are avoiding to criticize him is kind of crazy. However, he is Shukri's pet project and won't get dropped overhyped, says Lorenzo. I don't think he's overhyped. I think he's just been in terrible space and a terrible form. And he needs to just have that one innings that changes things around for him. But yeah, when there are other players in the squad that can be selected and other players knocking on the door, I can see why some people will be upset about that. I think we will win this game, says Talha. Stubbs' time is up now, he says. Kulenza's KP was dropped for the same things Stubbs is doing now. Different coach, different mentality. So I do understand you on the fairness thing, but we have a different coach that has a different mentality and philosophy. Tala says Carl also is not giving performances on a consistent basis. Jed says Brevis didn't even need to play that ball. Was headed for down the leg side, could have let it hit his pad and keep his hands away from that ball. You won't always need to put bat on ball. That's true, and that's something that he will learn. He's a youngster. Lorenzo says also, how was Stubbs selected ahead of Bedingham? I was shocked that Bedingham was dropped actually, or left out of the team. I don't know what the reason is behind that. Tala says, Khalid, what do you think? Are we still in the game even if we concede a lead of 80 plus? I think we're still in the game. I think I mean, I'm a big believer that in Tony De Zerzi's ability to score big hundreds. He's done it a lot in domestic level, and he needs to now do that at international level. But if he doesn't perform and he doesn't get runs, then we're going to be in big trouble. I know Simon Harmer can hold his bat, but we need 100 from Tony, and then every other runs from anybody else will be bonus. We need to put ourselves in a position, in a strong position where bonus runs can be scored. So Tony needs a big 100. I'm talking 130, 140, 150 even. He needs a big 100 in this match. And then we can start talking, because we just need to get as close as possible to the target, I feel, to keep ourselves in this match, because the wicket is going to be very difficult to play on day 3. Tomorrow's going to be tough. Oops. I almost ended the stream. Jed says Stubbs is not looking confident at all. He's supposed to be very adept at playing spin. Lorenzo says, very proud of Tony De Zorzi, Rickelton, Sen Mutsami, Prince O'Brien, Tony De Zorzi, go big, lad. I hope he does. Tala says, I think Brevers will learn from that and play better in the second innings. Test is all about second chances. Yes. Second changes. Yes. No, second chances. Yeah, it is. And I won't be too harsh on our younger players, especially in their first games, man. Let them learn from their mistakes. Lorenzo says, Mutasami looked very comfortable at the crease. We all know he can bat, but we need a good innings from him. We definitely do. Daksh says, Mutasami in his favorite format is legend. Pride says, I'm happy with Tony, but it still makes no sense how he, Tristan, Brevers are better than Bedingham. And I'm saying this as a fan of Brevers. Bedingham averages more, has more runs, and a better average. I don't know what happened with Bedingham. That was a shock one for me, because he hasn't necessarily done a lot wrong. Yes, he hasn't been consistent either, but who has been consistent in this test team? Khalid, how can we win this match? If Tony performs well tomorrow and get ourselves in a strong position, and we get ourselves closer to that 378, I still think there's a chance. Either a win or a draw. I'm not giving up yet. We're only 6 down. There are some guys that can hold their bat and can support Tony, and that's all we need, is someone to support Tony. Tony needs to make sure that he takes control of this match and runs with it. Rugby League Fanatic says, guys need to understand that it's very difficult to win even a single test in subcontinent. Australia, England, New Zealand haven't won many in the last 100 years. It is very difficult, but we can put ourselves in a better position. We can bat a lot better than we did. Daksha's Brevers play one-handed shot in this pitch, which is not needed. Yeah, we'll learn for that. Avi says, I think they're looking at Bedingham as a better player of pace versus spin compared to Stubbs or Brevers. That might be the reason. Dreamer Vision says, you're correct, Khalid. Players need to be backed like Rickelton, De Zorzi, same Stubbs, Deva, Brevers, and one Luandre Pretorius. I don't know. Some people has been here so many years, still want to be dropped. So won't be dropped. Khalid, we can't chase anything over 130 in the 4th innings. The wicket will be a minefield in the 4th innings. We should have prepared for that. I will always believe until the end. Ched says, we need to bat the entire day out, regardless of obviously getting to parity. Take time out of the game and let the pitch deteriorate even more. Pride says, in subcontinent, first innings is very important. If we get them only a lead above 50, or if we fail to run through them, then it's almost impossible. Tala says, we just have to be watchful the first hour and then try and score quick runs. We can't survive if we try and play to defend our way out. That's true. Dreamer says, if we drop young potential like this, some people telling we be like Bangladesh, lost forever, can't recover. How they telling to drop after so many years with this channel? Harley Benningham was dropped for Tony. I don't think so. I think Tony came in for Timba Bavuma, and I think Bedingham was dropped for Brevers. I think Tala says, I think Brevers was selected ahead of Bedingham. Maybe because of X factor of Brevers, you never know what you might get out of Brevers, and maybe because they could use some of his wrist spin as well, perhaps. Daksha's armor impressed me in his return. He's very crucial for the subcontinent tour for the Proteas. Huzaif says, to be honest, this wicket was batting friendly for first session of day one. You may have saw after Shan's wicket ball started turning like a barber's wicket. Yeah, it was only easy to bat on day one, first test, first day one, first session. Khalid, the toss in those kind of wickets gives the team an unfair advantage. Yeah, it does, but that's the luck of the draw. If we won it, then we would have been in a strong position too. So this is part of the game. Lorenzo Stubbs needs to reset button, go back to domestic cricket, get your confidence back, and come back stronger. Look at what it did for Markram. Stubbs is way too comfy. If he knows he will play regardless. That's also true. That might be good for him as well. And the Warriors could need him. Obviously, we don't have a long tail. Simon Armour has two first class hundreds. We do have a long tail, sorry. Yeah, we do. And Kagiso can smack a couple as well, KG. And Sunil Mutasami, I mean, Sabrain is also a decent batter when he's in. Dakshish, what is the prediction of this test for your test? What percentage you give to both sides? Well, as it stands at the moment, I think Pakistan 60-40. But if we can get past their first innings total, hey, I can see this being a draw. If we can get past their second innings total, and they can put on some runs. Dreamer Vision says, Khalid, I always love your thought and reaction. Absolutely correct. Enjoy your views. Thank you very much, bro, for the support. Prices, we haven't won a toss in the subcontinent since 2015. If we don't count Bangladesh, we've lost 12 out of 12. That's crazy. You can't have a worse record than Laura Volvat, though. Yo, she's been having a tough time with that coin. Obviously, Sin has 9 first-class hundreds. Yep, he can bat. Sarfa says, my mood is really bad after seeing today's performance. Namibia one really increased it. Yeah. Khalid, we should not let Pakistan go past 300 in the first innings. Yeah, we shouldn't have. But it was tough. I mean, they got a very good start to the innings. Uzaif says, we definitely have to close down this lead. If we lead remains above 60 or 70, then it's going to be tough for us. The spin attack is heavy. We have seen how they demolished England. It's 100% true, bro. And that's why I say, I only put South Africa with a chance of victory or a chance of getting close to victory if we can get close to that 378. If we can get to 360, 370, 350, and try and get like a slight lead at least, maybe even go to 390 or 400. If we can get that, that will put us in a position of strength, I feel. It will give us a chance. London says, we actually dealt with their spinners really well. Nothing Markram and Stubbs could have done with their dismissals as they played the correct lines. Just Vian, KV, and DB who gave it away. Yeah, TDZ and Rix equals solid. They were really good today. On Stubbs, I'm seriously worried. His confidence looks shot. He does seem shot. And he needs to get criticism because he hasn't performed well. So let's see what happens with that. He's got another innings to rectify things for himself. And if he can do that, that will be great. Let's try and get the lead, says Jed. Lorenzo said, for the people who says you can't drop young players like Stubbs is kind of crazy, yet the same ones who want our best batter, Bavuma, out. We all know what it's about, the double standards. Laugh out loud. Yeah, these double standards, actually. There's a lot of double standards. I think that if he continues to play like this, I'll give him the series, man. Like, it is tough to bat out there. And I'll give him the series. And if he can't, then Coach Shukri, I think, will make the tough decisions. I mean, he's got Bedingham there. It all depends on the series, how they perform. Sarfa says Stubbs don't know what is wrong with him. Is he playing too tentative? I don't know. I just think he needs some confidence. He just needs some luck. AV says DB's ball stuck in the wicket a bit. Could forgive him on that. Yeah, but I mean, he's a youngster. He's never really experienced this. Stubbs needs to take some risk early on. Maybe he does. Dreamer says I was in full nerves for the woman game we won. Yes, to has to won. Yes, has to win World Cup. We really have the opportunity to win. Phew, it's going to be tough because Australia is playing amazing cricket. Lawrence says, "Can we all establish that Sen is a red ball player? Let him focus on the red ball space. He's as effective in what he isn't as effective in white ball cricket. He needs to focus. Yeah, let him focus on. I like him in first class cricket a lot. Holly, how did we lose against them? Bro, spoke about that yesterday. I don't want to talk about that again. I don't know how we lost that game. I think some of those players might have underestimated them. And some of those players like Triple Man, etc., they played domestic cricket in South Africa, so they know that it's not like these players they haven't played against him. Usaif said, for second day today, it was spinning heavily. I think about how much it will spin after tomorrow. It's going to be tough, miracle needed. Craig is really impressed with Rickleton and Tony's application against spin. Going to do wonders for their game going forward, 100%. Sarfar says, Deovat has to realize that it is not the usual white ball pitch where he can hit spin for sixes. He has to understand this is a pitch that aids spinners. Yeah, and I think you'll learn a lot from that. As Digashu says, I think Sabrayan will be our best bet in the second dig, and I hope Tony gets a big one. Avi says, second test with Sen and Kesh could be lethal. Yeah, we must Kesh. We must Kesh a lot. Lauren says, to be honest, I couldn't care less about domestic international, about that domestic international T20 versus Zimbabwe, Namibia. That whole stream just put me off. Dex says, did you hear that the guy that was shouting the whole time on the mic? Like there was a guy in the back. I think they were close to the announcer, maybe the commentators. Yo, it was terrible. It was distorted and loud. I don't know what they did with that production. It was terrible. Ikram says, the Zorzi keeping South Africa in the game. Hope to see him score a second subcontinent 100. Me too. Pride says, I actually liked our approach overall today. In the past, we've gone into a shell after an early wicket. That's true. I liked some of the performances, but I mean, there were some players that gave the wickets away better that I was disappointed with. Calvert-Reiner, Deva Brevis, Tristan Stubbs. Yeah, so Vian Mulder as well. So, like, yeah, I hope that they can perform well. Dex says, the Lizard Williams over changed the game for Namibia. He learned nothing from that England 300 game where he gave 65 and 15 balls. Yeah. He's also been quite inconsistent. He struggled to come back and be his best. I think he's a rhythm type of player. He needs games to get in a rhythm. Lauren says, it's a good day when Tony doesn't get scapegoated. A lot of people like to talk crap on him. Lorenzo says, I think Harmer is going to absolutely let it rip second dig. He was very impressive in the first innings, still top quality. Yes, he was top quality in that first innings, 100%. I like the way he bowled. It's a pity he didn't get more wickets. And I love the way the players celebrated with him when he took his wicket. So it was brilliant from that part. Texas Kyle scored 100 in Bangladesh, played horrible shot. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Oh, with his dreamers saying, Khalid, who is our spinner after Imran Tahir and Shamsi? We want a really good leg spinner. What about Maharaj after retired? Who is our left arm spinner? Linda Mutasami should play consistent to adapt. I think Linda will be important. Bjorn Fortuin, Senaran will be important. And Ngaba Peter is getting a lot of lessons he's learning. Sharfa says, I was the most skeptical about Tony Dezorzi, but he was shown more greater composure and application against the Nauman and Sajid. A lot of things will be on his performance for SA. He has to play Mutasami, his dream vision. Linda, don't wait for Maharaj retirement. Yeah. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. There's the button. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Please comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. Very important that you guys do so as well. And then yeah, and do all the sharing and likes, etc. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another review show. Let me just get another couple. Lorenzo says we need to invest in a really talented leggy. That's key in international cricket. Junaid Dawood for me can be that guy. Let's hope that he can perform domestically. Dreamer Vision says good night, Khalid. Bye. Good night. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. And keep an eye out for our exclusives with Craig Alexander today. Vian Libber from and Mikhail Prince from Northwest. Some in-depth conversations I had with him. It's evergreen content, so it's not related to the game at all. So please go ahead and support me on that videos as well. Um, I think it was really good conversations. I learned a hell of a lot, and it's evergreen content, so it's not necessarily about what happened right now. It's something that you can learn even if you watch it weeks from now, months from now. You'll still get value out of it. So please go and support those when we do upload them as well. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and peace out.